Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to do just a short episode of what's in the box. We've got just one package, but it's a pretty good size one. So we're going to get it opened and we're going to see what's in the box. Alright, here we go. Alright, as you can see, pretty good size. This is DNA Motoring. Alright, this is one of the cheaper sales pages, if you will, internet sales. This thing was in the $100 range maybe. Now that they're charging tax on the internet sales place. So I think right at $100 or so. So what this is for a Honda Civic. All right, so just open here. And so keep in mind, I'm not sponsored by any brand. Anything I buy is not at a discount. It's not a wholesale. It is not discounted because I'm doing a kind of a review on some of these products. I'm buying it because it's cheap. These are some of this actually is going on the finance car. What this is DNA Motoring's 4-inch outlet, 4 catback. And I have bought some of their stuff before. Some has fit pretty well, some has not. So it's more has fit than has not. You can only sell so much stuff until you're just not selling anything if everything's bad. Fitment wise, I'm thinking this is the 2 1/4, I think, maybe exhaust. That's the 4-inch outlet, well, the 4-inch tip. It's got the double hanger, and I think this is the axle back piece. So if you buy just the axle back, this is what you're going to get, this whole piece here. But when you buy the cat back, you get the axle back, and then you get, I think this is the second piece. No, this is going to be the third piece from the back because it has, no wait. The third piece from the back will have a 3-bolt flange. So this is the second piece. So I'm assuming, I think it goes this way maybe. All right, but this is the second piece. So far, everything actually looks really, really good. It actually looks pretty good for what it is. Now, what you run into on some of these cheaper kits ends up being a couple of things. Yeah, here's the 3-bolt flange. So this is actually, we'll go back to the end of your cat or your test pipe, whatever you want to call it. But what you run into on these flanges are sometimes they're like this way, they're leaned forwards or backwards sometimes, and you got to kind of work there. But as far as overall, looks pretty decent. The welds look solid. I think there won't be any leaks. Anything I've got from DNA so far to this point usually the welds are pretty good. You'll see where they're undercut and some things that, you know, when they weld a lot of them, it's not perfection. You get just decent, and these are undercut on the weld a little bit. But let's see what else we got with it. So we got the 3 pieces. Keep in mind this is the cat back, so if you do an axle back, you won't get as many parts to it. So we're looking at some bolts. So we end up with 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, because there's a 3-bolt flange, so that'll be an odd number. So we got 7 bolts. That's it. Yeah, so that's all that's in the box. So 7 nuts and bolts. 3 pieces. Like I say, this is the 4-inch exhaust setup with the cat back. It's got a silencer in it. So a 4-inch tip. I think it's 2 1/4 actual pipe. When you do the cat back, you don't get the actual cat or a test pipe. So I think we'll end up getting a test pipe. I think maybe an oxygen sensor. But we're coming up with a count of 7 bolts. And there will be our 3-bolt flange and 2 2-bolt flanges. So that'll give us, we'll make up here to there, there to there, and then our 3-bolt flange where it will end for our test pipe. Overall, these are not mandrel bent. And by mandrel bending, if you don't know what mandrel bending is, if you can see in this pipe, there's you can see where there was pressure on that actual pipe, where it's actually been bent around like a U-shaped deal. A mandrel bend, you won't see that. It won't have that pressured texture where it's been bent around something. And you can see this flange is kind of angled. So if you hold that up perfectly, that flange actually is running downhill this way. That may work to our advantage, that may actually hurt us. So that's stuff you got to look for. Once we get it in there, we'll be able to know more about it. Sometimes the actual, where they're universal for a 4-door, 2-door, you know, different body styles, sometimes the hangers can be misplaced. You may end up having to heat them, flex them a little bit to get them to fit. And sometimes they're just completely out of whack. They're not even where you need them to be. But overall, this is just standard exhaust pipe. There's nothing special about this. It's probably a 16-gauge stainless exhaust pipe. It's pretty much all this is. But it is a stainless exhaust pipe, stainless flanges. So I mean, it does actually look okay. The welds are okay. This is a resonator. It's made on it. So this is, it's like a cheaper resonator, and just exhaust pipe, just hangers, and overall looks pretty good. And like I say, I've got $100 in this. So you know, when it comes to exhaust, if you're not doing anything extravagant, if you're running an all-motor car and you're wanting 2.5-inch exhaust pipe, 2.5-inch exhaust pipe is 2.5-inch exhaust pipe. So what the deal breakers are going to be is your welded flanges. You know, how good do they weld them? How square, plumb, and level are the flanges? The hangers can be cut off and put somewhere else if need be. But for $100, you couldn't get this at a muffler shop and installed too. This is a straight bolt-in kit, supposedly. Like I say, sometimes I have had some flange issues where the flanges will actually be a little out of square. But overall, this kit I think is pretty good. I think this will serve what we're trying to do here. Give you an overall picture of this thing. But yeah, I think, you know, for the money, $100, you couldn't go to a local muffler shop and get this all installed for less than that. It might be at least that price. But I mean, you can do it yourself. You can do it in your driveway. Just unbolt your existing stuff and install this yourself. And you know, you've got a stainless exhaust system. So if you're not doing turbo, if you're just doing an all motor application and you end up with 2 1/4 exhaust and you know, it's going to breathe like 2 1/4 exhaust. There's no crazy smashed places that's going to be so restrictive. You're going to be like, oh my God, my car's just weak as crap. This is, the exhaust pipe itself is, no matter where you get it, it's exhaust pipe. Now you can get like, you know, you get your titanium and all that stuff, but all that's going to end up being more for bragging rights. You know, when you got titanium exhaust, you're just showing out. You know what I mean? I got extra money to buy titanium. Or if you're doing a custom build and you want to do titanium and you spend a lot on it, and you know, hey, I get that. But if you're just building something on a budget, you want to add power, well, actually open it up. You're not really adding power, you're letting it use the power it already has. You're freeing it up to let it make use of the power. But yeah, so, I mean, would I buy this kit? Don't know yet. Let's see if it fits. As far as looking at it, cosmetically, yeah, it looks fine. Looks fine. It's not smashed. It's not just horrible welds. And for our application, if it fits without any exhaust leaks, hey, we're good. We've got our money's worth out of it. So, and I actually have the Civic right behind us on the lift. So we'll actually be putting this thing on today, so we'll get some footage of that. But DNA motoring, visually speaking, yes, I would suggest buying this. Now, again, when it comes to fitment, that's our next step. That's where we go from here. But visually speaking, yes, I would suggest DNA motoring on their exhaust. Like I say, this is probably going to be your axle back piece, just a bigger exhaust piece. And then when you do the full kit cat back, you'll have this piece and this piece. But if you want a cat, you'll have to get a cat separately or do a test pipe to make that full exhaust all the way back to the manifold. So that we're actually still short, you know, a 1.5 foot piece of pipe to make it back to our exhaust manifold. So just that way you understand you're not getting from the back of the manifold all the way to the tip. There's one more piece, which is the test pipe where your catalytic converter lives, that will go in between that. So, but this will be from the back of the catalytic converter all the way to the tailpipe, to the end. So this will be about 80% of your exhaust. Then you got your manifold, and then somewhere off your manifold will be the catalytic converter. On the Civics now, like the 2JZs, the catalytic converters are on the exhaust manifold. So the actual factory manifold, I've not bought a cat back, so I don't know if it goes all the way to the manifold yet. But if we do, you know, we'll definitely clue you in on that. But this one, you have the manifold, then a catalytic converter or test pipe would live right there, and then it bolts into this piece, this section. So this isn't a full exhaust system. Keep that in mind. So if you do buy the cat back for a Civic, it will be these 3 pieces. And I've seen where you can get the test pipe on certain ones. I couldn't get it with this kit. Maybe I just couldn't find that actual option, but I should have a test pipe on the way and a O2 sensor, because your O2 sensor lives in your test pipe on these, and then the manifold, which I think we're going to stay with the factory manifold. This was just to replace damaged factory OEM exhaust. This wasn't an upgrade. This was to just pretty much put a factory exhaust back together on this car. So yeah, so far so good with this deal. So we'll get it put on and we'll let you know what we're thinking from there. All right, so that concludes our episode of What's in the Box. Join us next time on What's in the Box, see what we got. And like I say, I definitely want to point out, you know, when we do a What's in the Box or any install or anything, we're not sponsored by any companies. We are 100% neutral as far as branding and all that stuff.
These are brands, you know, you can see the signage and stuff that you'll see in the shop. These are brands that we ran, we like, we continue to use. We've ended up with banners over the years for the shop. It looks good in the shop, that type of thing. But 100%, we are not sponsored by any brand. So just putting that out there, that way if you think we're kind of biased, or if we, you know, suggest a part that fits on ours but it doesn't work on yours, you know, hey, this is for our applications and our applications alone. My personal opinions on things, you know, if it fits our car with the piece I got, yes, absolutely I would buy it. Some parts, you have to accept the money that you paid versus the part you got, you know. So if you buy a $1,500 catback exhaust and it doesn't fit properly, yeah, I'm gonna be upset because I paid $1,500. All right, now when it comes to I paid $100 for a full catback exhaust, and if I have to kind of work on it a little bit, hey, I'm okay with that, you know what I mean? I traded my time to spend less money. So sometimes there's an offset, you know. A lot of times that old saying, you get what you pay for, you know, but I've seen higher end products that's not quite, you know, maybe they slipped through the cracks, they built it on a Friday and the guy was wanting to go home, and, you know, maybe, you know, the quality control didn't do well with it or something. I have seen that. As far as, you know, how it fits for us, it may not fit the same for you guys. Maybe, you know, our car may be tweaked. Your car may be tweaked, you know, a little bit. There may be some fitment issues. You never know. You know, you make 100 parts 100 times and there'll be a bad one somewhere. It may slip through the cracks, it may not, you know. So you can't take what we say 100%, you know, and say, hey, you told me to buy it. You know, I'm saying, if I had to buy this product again in this particular brand, would I buy this product in this particular brand? That's where I'm going. Would I suggest that you buy it, or, you know, am I confident that with the quality that came to me, would I buy this, or, you know, stand behind the product? As far as the looks and visual, I'll explain that type of stuff, how it looks to me, how it fit, you know, once we started installing it and stuff. So, you know, that's gonna be all my opinion. So, you do what you need to do, but if I was gonna spend $100, I expect to work on exhaust, or maybe tweak it a little bit, maybe have to heat it, bend it, something. I may have something I've got to work on. If it fits perfectly, hey, even better, even better. It was a good deal. But when we install this, we'll let you know how it fit for us. But as far as visually, taking it out of the box, it looks good, but I don't know how it fits, you know. So kind of keep that in mind too when we're doing our, you know, what's in the box kind of features here. And we'll give you pretty much just the visuals and what we think about it. We've had some parts that we've opened up the box and they look great and not be that great when they fit the car. But again, yeah, that can be expected if you're going to buy the cheap stuff. So kind of keep that in mind. If you're going to buy the cheap stuff, you're going to have to know, if it doesn't fit, what do you got to do? You got to work a little bit on some of this stuff. You may have to trim it, may have to heat it and bend it, you may have to cut something off, you may have to add something in. So kind of keep that stuff in mind if you're going to be doing this, and kind of go off of what we're saying. But either way, with that being said, thanks for following us. Thanks for watching our YouTube videos. We're on Instagram at Chesser Enterprises. We're on Facebook. If you want to email us about something, it's chesserenterprises@yahoo.com. And on YouTube, subscribe. That way you can watch all of our videos. And when we get, you know, the more subscribers we get, the more likes we get, all the more stuff we get going, then, you know, that'll help us with our branding and some of the stuff we're doing here to bring you better videos and be able to get, you know, more products brought in to kind of do open box stuffs and reviews. But follow us on YouTube, and there's a bell, so hit that little bell, and when you hit that little bell, that will actually set you up to, every time we post a video, it'll inform you that we've posted a video. So kind of keep that in mind, and it's free. I mean, it don't cost you anything to get on YouTube to set up an account. So if you've been afraid to set up a YouTube account or haven't, feel free to go ahead and knock that out. We appreciate it, and that way you can like and subscribe and watch our videos and kind of support us here with what we're doing. So hey, we appreciate everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. If you catch this video, I don't know how far we are behind on filming, but thank you guys for watching our videos. Thank you.